So there have been some memorable performances and moments this season, and this award, voted by the players themselves, will go to that one special day where it all came together. Russ, there's been a number of top performances. What one stands out for you?
I think the one we're going to speak about, definitely. I think the whole one away was fantastic, and then Swindon recently, obviously, was as complete a performance as we probably had. So yeah, there's been a fair few, but I think the one that is going to win the award certainly deserves it.
Well, announcing the winner of tonight's award is Chris Brightman from Plumbing and Gas Solutions.
Chris here from Plumbing and Gas Solutions. We are sponsoring Best Team Performance. As a business ourselves, we are hugely passionate about our team. The winner is the 1-0 superb win at Charlton.
David, thank you for joining us. Before we talk about that game, Lee Scriven has taken a look back at that memorable game.
It was the news we'd all been hoping for. Fans back in stadiums. There was hope in our heart that we'd no longer have to walk alone. We'd missed the banter. We'd missed the burgers. The game felt empty, soulless, and if I'm really honest, all a bit pointless without the ambience and presence of supporters inside a stadium. It did feel like the end of a storm. And as I walked into the valley, there was a golden sky with floodlights glimmering. High-vis clad stadium security people were actually smiling, and you could sense the collective spirit of goodwill, relief, and anticipation that football was coming back. Fans queued up patiently and politely to have their temperature taken. They couldn't wait to get in. The funny thing is, an hour later, they couldn't wait to get out. But more on that point later. As the players came out for a pre-match stretch, you could physically feel the onlooking fans' sheer relief of being able to sit inside a football ground, armed with a pie, a cup of tea, and soak up the pre-match atmosphere. Looking at the Dons going through their routines, you couldn't help but notice they looked focused, tight and determined. And their exploits filled me with a funny feeling. This could be a special night. Clashes between Charlton and the Dons are rarely boring affairs. Tonight would not be an exception. The Dons made a bright start to the game, passing with ease, moving with grace and direction. Charlton had no answer. In a first half dominated by the boys from MK, Scott Fraser gave those paying attention a warning of his skill, pace and determination. A warning Charlton failed to take notice of. As the game progressed, Charlton looked helpless, mesmerised and fearful. They had every right to be. The Dons were a class act and were giving the hosts a lesson of the process. Matthew Sorinola came close to grabbing the opening goal. The brilliant fullback single-handedly flat-footed Charlton's defence, and he was only denied a glorious goal by a glorious save. Cameron Jerome was inspired and inspiring, defying the years and his critics with a display of real class. The Dons continued their home humiliation with crisp passing. One executed series leading to a chance for Morris, who spun cleverly and shot well, only to be denied again by another top-class save. The Dons were on fire. Every player wanted the ball. Every player was great on the ball. Pass and move, and then move and pass, and then score. Fraser smashing in the winner from an acute angle that bizarrely emptied the stands quicker than a COVID drill. As I said, they waited patiently to get in, but after Fraser's goal, they couldn't wait to get out. Lovely. As you would expect, the home side were not happy, and in the dying minutes of the game, Charlton threw everything they had at the Dons. But Russell Martin's Mavericks stood together as one. No player flinched. Every player gave all. And victory was theirs. It was a great team performance. The glory meant the world to them, the eye-following fans, and the manager, who couldn't hide the emotion of losing his father that week. The victory mattered so much to him and his loyal backroom staff. It was personal, but football is. Back in the dressing room, there was no champagne, bear hugs or supercilious swagger. Just the collective satisfaction of a team of men beating the opposition with style.
David, what were your memories of that game at Charlton?
Yeah, it was a great game. From minute one, we knew it was going to be a tough game. Obviously, Charlton, our good side, they were in around the playoffs at the time. And from minute one, we started with intensity, energy. We had a lot of chances first half, and surprisingly, we were 0-0 at half time. Then 10-15 minutes in, Scotty scored his goal. And literally after that, we controlled the whole second half. Really, I can remember Scotty and Matty doing tiki-taka in the corner flag. So yeah, it was a great game from minute one. Really, yeah, that was definitely the best performance.
Obviously, you had a terrific game in the middle of midfield, as you have many times this season. But how important was it to prove to a playoff challenging team that you could match it with them? Not only match it, but also better it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's important because obviously you want to test yourself against the top teams in the league, and we've done that multiple times this season. And you can see in that performance, we went head to head with them and came out the better side. So yeah, it's definitely important.
Russ, you spoke afterwards about the tough time you've been through personally before that game. So how important is it for you that the team put that performance in, not just for themselves, for their teammates, but also for you?
Yeah, it was incredible. I lost my dad 5 days before, so it was tough, obviously, but watched on with so much pride that night in the way the team played together. There were supporters there as well, which was nice. I think their manager commented after that he wanted more from their supporters, but I don't think we gave them a chance at all in the game to really get behind them. We had most of the ball, real intensity. Remember Dave, one turn in front of us in the first half where they were coming really aggressive to press, and it stood out. And
I think he posted it about 7 times after that as well.
That's probably why I remember it. But he took it under real pressure, got out of it, and I just thought tonight the mentality of the group was fantastic. And the performance, like Dave said, probably deserved more goals. I remember the goal, we were defending the corner probably a minute before. The way the guys defended, there were a few blocks in there. Real discipline, real dedication to real determination to defend, and then to go and score a brilliant goal in the end, which was so nice, and they deserved that. So yeah, it meant a lot. It meant a lot, not just for me personally at that time, but to the team, for the team, the way they performed. And yeah, it was an outstanding game.
David, just quickly, how do you reflect on the last 12 months for yourself personally, and what are your aspirations for next season?
I'd say it has been a bit tough. Obviously, it's my injury and whatnot, but I'd look at it as a successful season personally. As a young player, you wanna start a season and you wanna get into it running, playing games, and for me to play so regularly this season is anything I can ask for really, and to have a lot of good performances in there as well. So it's a bonus. Next season, I want the same as well. Going in there, running, being a regular in the team, and hopefully we can get something out of next season as well.
Well, you've come on absolute leaps and bounds from when we first met, and you come in as a young man. Now you are grown into a real maestro of the midfield. You've been absolutely exceptional. So thank you very much, David, for joining us.